90's nostalgia.
I remember the vendedores trying to sell me like fake CDs. You think the 90's is more popular than the 80's?
Man, that's very hard. I love the 80's more than the 90's, to be honest.
I'm Danny.
I'm Benny.
And this is...
What is it?
What? Conversing with food.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Today, as you can see, we're filled right now.
We got hooked up from Daniel from Zamba Juice. He was located in Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
Here we are with 1,000 waters.
Dude,
all on deck.
He hooked us up, man. We thought that we were just gonna go get like one or two for each of us, and he's like, take one of each, man. And I was like, wow. So thank you, Daniel. We appreciate. We're excited to try all these flavors. As a big Agua person, grew up in East LA, Bow Heights area. You know, I'm all about that fresh juice flavor. You know.
You can't forget about Hank's Mexican food. Today, Daniel got the Hank's quesadilla.
Hankadadle.
And I'm just the plain Jane. Today I got the hamburger with the fries special.
So when Benny told me like Hank's Mexican food, one thing that came to my mind was like, there's no Mexican named Hank. Let's just be real. That doesn't exist. Okay. If you're named Hank and you're Mexican, you're probably born here. Let's be real. You weren't born in Mexico. He's like, oh, I recommend getting the burger. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about right now? If you recommend getting the burger at the Mexican food place, then the Hank name makes sense. But, you know, it looked good. It's a good mom and pop kind of place. I love diner looking places, especially like they look like they should be open more than 24 hours. They're not. They close till 8, but it gives me that kind of vibe, you know, like a 24-hour taco vibe or something like that. Or there's a place in LA called Tacos Michoacan. It looks kind of like that.
Let's see. What water are you gonna try first?
Oh man, I guess I'll try the strawberry one.
Okay. So the strawberry one is it has berries, blueberries, and strawberry.
Blueberries, strawberries, and it has milk. I would want to say. It's really good. I wish I could show you guys, but this whole top rim is filled with strawberries and blueberries, and it's just really good. You want to take a sip?
Sure. It's so good.
It's so good. It's very good. It's very creamy. They give us what other flavors? They give us horchata.
So we got horchata, right?
Yeah.
We got horchata.
I think we got piña and
like spinach.
And spinaca. And then got pineapple.
Pineapple.
I think this is strawberry with melon. What is this?
I'm so colorblind right now that I can't tell you what that is. I got maracuya, which in English, I had to look this up. It is translated to passion fruit. And then I have watermelon or strawberry?
This is really good. I think this is strawberry and melon.
This is strawberry, right?
Or yeah, that's strawberry.
This is strawberry.
And this is watermelon. And we got to try some of these earlier. And they're all so good. Honestly, they're very fresh. They're very authentic, I would say. Because, like, there's also, like, you always get those aguas that taste like watered down. And these are not. Like, these are 100% juiced. And they even advertise that they have no added sugar for some of them. And it's really great. I definitely think they probably add sugar to the ones that are more acidic or have like more of the vegetable taste. But the other ones, they taste so good, so fresh. And I think it was like $8, right, for these big ones?
Yeah, they're all $8 each.
Yeah.
He only has one size. What I like about Daniel, you know, his Zamba Juice company, is that he's very generous in his portions, and whatever he puts into his, you know, labor of love right here, these aguas, it's not just the sugar that he puts in. He puts a portion of the fruits, a mix, a blend. It goes really well with it.
You definitely taste the effort, and there's no half-assing when it comes to these aguas. So.
But much love to you, Daniel and Zamba Juice.
Love, man. These are great.
Yes. And these are gonna go well with Hank's Mexican food.
Yes.
Take a bite out of that quesadilla.
Dude, I'm gonna have to cut this thing up. Look how massive. Look, this feels like a little baby.
So what is it? Like chicken? What does it have?
Chicken, sour cream, lettuce, tomato, beef, guac, and cheese.
Damn, it's delicious.
Mm-hmm. It's delicious and nutritious. It's really good.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
Let me have a bite of that. Is there an extra fork?
There's no extra fork. Just go for it.
I'm just gonna.
Just get it, man. Just get it. Okay, what? You're only getting the tortilla. Yeah, it's like owning the bun.
That is delicious.
That's really good.
I brought something special for y'all. Benny's POV camera.
POV.
Right here. You can see close up
What's happening.
Daniel's digging into.
Get in my mouth. Get in my mouth.
Oh yeah! There you go. Looks great. So yeah, that's the Hank's quesadilla.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing, amazing. Before I forget, these are the awas. You guys can get a close up of this real quick. Let me see them berries and the strawberries. Creamy. Alright, enough of that. Let me taste my burger now.
Yes.
And then maybe you'll get a close up of this.
Okay.
You want a bite?
I'll take a bite.
Benny's POV right here. This is a new segment that we're gonna try out. And point that, delicious. So out of focus. There we go. Nice and juicy and meaty.
Good charbroiled burger. Tastes exactly like a mom and pop burger should.
Fries are good too.
The fries are really good. They're not your average mom and pop type of fry. They have like almost similar to like an In-N-Out style fry. They're thicker, so they have a different consistency.
Doesn't this bring you of a simpler time, the awas? Don't they bring you like a time of childhood?
They do. I remember being at the swap meet and my parents getting me an awa during those hot ass summer days.
And with those times, doesn't it remind you of the 90's nostalgia?
I remember the vendedores trying to sell me like fake CDs, like pirata CDs from the 90's.
Mm-hmm.
Or I remember like all the Pokemon stuff I would get.
Mm-hmm.
Or like just all the cool pop culture that was kind of surrounded around.
You remember Pogs?
Yes! I remember Pogs. Now, are you talking about the American Pogs or are you talking about the Latino ones?
I'm talking about both of them, baby. You remember Gargoyles? You know they're actually going to come up with a live action movie?
No way!
Mm-hmm.
John Cena better be like the main guy. John Cena better be the main gargoyle.
You know, it'd be a perfect cast because you can't see him. Do you remember the old school PlayStation games? Do you remember Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, GoldenEye on the N64? My God.
Yeah. Dude, I remember we would hunt down that gold gun. That was the first thing we all do, just run for the fucking gold gun.
Yeah.
Because the gold gun, if you didn't play the game, it was a one-hit kill.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but they only give you a limited amount of bullets. But if you get the gun, like, it was like OP. By the way, I've been like sipping on this like thing, and I've been chugging this, like gulping at it, because the top layer is just all berries. And like, you definitely get your money's worth on this shit. It's crazy. It's like a berries and cream drink.
If you guys go to his Instagram, he has his, I believe his Yelp page or a locations page where you can find him. I believe he's only located here in Orange County, unfortunately.
Oh, gotcha. So he's only in Orange County?
Mm-hmm. Maybe someday he'll be in the LA County.
Please, Daniel. For me. Another Daniel. When, I think 8 Mile came out, I was so into rap. I was like, I want to be like rapping.
Marilyn Manson.
Did he really take out his ribs?
You saw that? You heard about that?
When I was a kid,
Oh,
there was a rumor like he took out his own ribs so he could suck his own dick.
That is interesting.
Right? I was like, what man would do that? It's like,
What year did they install the Back to the Future ride in Universal? Was it the 80s or the 90s? I'm gonna say it's the 90s, right?
well, it came out in the 80s.
I'm only saying that because I love that freaking ride. And E.T.
I do, yeah.
I'm sad that they took him out.
Dude, yeah. But honestly, E.T. was, I don't know.
You don't like E.T.?
After a while, it became a drag.
How could
sorry.
How could you not?
I'm so sorry, but what? You just go around in a glider and then you pick up this weird looking alien and you just try to take him home.
You know what would have made that ride even better?
What?
Reese's Pieces.
If
While you open your mouth.
If that would have been a part of the attraction, I would have considered it. I'm not gonna lie.
What else comes to your head?
Blink 182, Green Day. Dude, one show that I really loved was Boy Meets World. It's a boy meets world. Boy meets world. You know what I'm talking about? Topanga, bro. Topanga. At the time, I wanted to marry that bitch. I wanted to marry Topanga, bro. She had it going on.
She was hot.
She was hot. And then they got the redhead when they were in the college years.
I didn't get that far.
Okay, I watched all of it.
Arcade game, Street Fighter.
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yes, the first one and the second one.
What was your Marvel vs. Capcom team? Tell me right now.
Strider Hero, Spider-Man, and the robot arm guy that takes off his clothes. And he has like a cloth lion or whatever it's called. Underwear thing.
I don't know. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Who is that?
I forget, but I know who you're referring to. Mine was
If not, it's Chun-Li as a substitute.
which only I mine was changing a lot, but like for a while it was War Machine, Spider-Man, and Wolverine.
That's a good solid team.
Yeah, and then over time it became all spammers. It was like Mega Man, War Machine, and Cyclops. Oh, and then it became Cable. If you play competitively, you know Cable and War Machine, all that. That's a hell of a spam team.
You're the people I hate.
Spamazoids, just blast, 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 keep you away.
Going outside in the 90s was an adventure. I could say, at least for me. Playing marbles with my friends without a worry in the world.
Well, that would be, I guess, the early 2000s for me. Because I would barely... Well, how old were you in 1999?
I'm a vampire. That's how old I'm going to say I am.
Well, I was like 7 years old, so I was like... I was barely, like, understanding the world.
I do have some questions for you, though, that I prepared while we're in the subject.
Check them out.
Alright, so my first question would be, what is the most memorable thing or things you remember about this era and why?
The movies, and then my brothers and sisters being excited for me watching them because they're older than me by a lot. So when I got to see the movies that they liked, I think we were all really like excited in that moment, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And wrestling.
Oh my god!
Wrestling was so exciting. I remember sitting around the TV, like all of us, and we watched. Can you smell? Just come out. My mom being excited because she's seeing this hunk Dwayne Johnson coming out. And then my dad kind of being like a little intimidated, you know, little like oh, I'm better looking than that guy, you know, it's all fake, you know. Like.
Did you guys have a rock mural picture in your bathroom or something like that?
No, we didn't. But my mom would just be like, oh, él sí me gusta. Él sí me gusta. And I was like, okay.
Of course.
Dude, yeah, that whole, what's it called? I forgot the name of the era, but it was like the Attitude Era or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
It was like Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels and just all those guys, you know, Triple H.
I'm going to say the most, memorable thing I remember about that era. It's just growing up with friends, and especially in the video game. Was that you can just go over to a friend's house or they could come over to your house, play multiplayer right there. You experience the whole thing while your buddy's right next to you, either cussing you out or cracking jokes.
Yeah.
I miss that. You don't get the same feeling anymore in multiplayer. You get a little kid screaming at you and cussing you out nowadays.
Everybody would always go to my house. And then, everybody would bring, their controls. Mm-hmm. And then I remember us having the PlayStation when we had the multi-port for the PlayStation, and you could put 8 players. and we'd be going off of one TV, and it was like we're like little old madmen just looking at the screen like ah. It was a lot of fun.
So my second question is, why do you think this era of the 90s is relevant today now more than ever?
That's a really good question. And I say that's a really good question because I see kids dressing up like in the 90s now. Like that's the trend. The baggy clothes, the grungy look, the dirty hair, the messy hair. Like that is the look right now that kids are dressing as in high school. Honestly, I don't understand really why, but it goes in waves.
Yeah.
Trends go in waves. For a while, it was the 70s. And then it became like, and then it was the 80s trend, right, with Stranger Things and all that stuff. That was becoming more relevant. And right now we're in the 90s phase. And the next phase is going to be the 2000s. So I don't know what the 2000s phase would look like. All I can think is like seeing kids coming back. But I don't know.
I hope they do come back.
I do. They probably will.
The world needs you. Look at my face.
Seeing kids. I need you back. All the older scene kids now, we gotta go back to our roots, which I doubt we will.
Look at this. I just need my hair blonde. Part of my hair blonde.
There you go. You know what I think also insinuated the 90s scene? Euphoria.
Oh, yeah.
Euphoria has so many like 90s stylistic clothing. And I think kids really like take that show to be like what they should be living. Because it's like the modern day Skins.
Yeah.
You seen that show?
No.
Skins is like a European show. It's basically like Euphoria, but this happened like in the early 2000s. The show it was like about kids going to raves, doing drugs in high school, sleeping with teachers, and like that was Euphoria is basically a copy of Skins. That's like, but that's what I feel like kids are like vibing off of. But in that time of frame, our kids like us, were vibing off MTV. Right, MTV was so prevalent, and also the guidelines for how to be cool, I guess, right?
With that being said, here's my third question. Will we continue to look back on the 90s in the further future?
Yeah, I think so. 90s will always be there. I think any era, you know? Especially if we're alive. Because we appreciate that era. We appreciate any era we lived in some type of form of way, you know? But something always tells me, like, when you're a kid and you're a teenager, those are the eras that are most prevalent to you. Like, I think about my siblings, and they always talk about the 80s. They always talk about the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
That's their era, you know? Or, like, the 90s. Never about, like, the 2000s. They do like the 2000s, but, like, they mostly just go back to the other eras, I feel like, as the way of shaping them. You think the 90s is more popular than the 80s?
Man, that's very hard. I love the 80s more than the 90s, to be honest.
I do too. I like the style.
Yeah.
I like the music. I feel like each era has its own like set of values that is just irreplaceable. But the style, I prefer the 70s and the 80s over the 90s.
No, it'll still be the 80s for me.
The 90s style, I couldn't get into it. It was too baggy for me.
What was your favorite cartoon growing up in the 90s?
I think I want to say The Simpsons.
Simpsons?
Yeah, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember my mom just letting me watch it. And just be like, mira que curiosos, you know? Like, because English wasn't her first language, but she does know English. She does know how to speak it. But I think at the time she didn't understand a lot of like the adult-ish comments or jokes they would make on The Simpsons. And so I didn't even understand them.
I'm going to say something about that because I remember watching it and a sex scene came up and my mom was right in back of me. And yeah, you can imagine what happened after that.
Oh no. Yeah. What about you?
I'm going to shout out all the ones I like because it's very hard.
Yeah.
Digimon, Hey Arnold, freaking
Those are-
Reese's.
Dude, Reese's!
Reese's!
Yeah, I love Reese's. Was it PJ? TJ?
TJ.
TJ! Yes, TJ.
What else can you say about it?
Rocky Balboa. Adrian!
If you had to leave with one thought to somebody who is in this generation, never knew anything about the 90s, what is one word?
But I would just say grunge. I would just say grunge. I would just say, because it's what I know best, and the style, the look, obviously is so grunge. Grunge is everything right now. How about you?
Mine is 2 words. Mine is CD player.
Damn. That's very true. Did you have one?
Yep.
What was it called?
I don't know.
I had a Sony CD player.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah. It was like a blue one. And I remember, like, it said, like, non-skippable. Like, it wasn't skip, but it would fucking skip. Like, kids wouldn't know anything about this now. But you have to hold a CD player as still as you can, because if you were to shake while you're walking, the music would skip, and you would hear a hoot, right? Like, on the audio.
Yep.
And because it would read like a record player almost. So you have to, like, really, like, hold it steady and walk with it and make sure you're not shaking any of it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So there's some, like, were like shockwave proof or something, and they were most of them were not. But I remember always walking around with my CD player and listening to Green Day, because that's what I had, and Green Day Dookie album, and State Farm. Oh no, not State Farm.
State Farm.
Something Farm from Blink-182.
Alien.
Is it Alien Farm?
Alien.
But Game Boy.
Is that how you?
The Game Boy Color. That's when I got my Game Boy Color. What did you have, the Game Boy Color, or did you have just the Game Boy? Or
I had all of them.
We had all of them. The SP.
At some point. Yeah.
The Advance.
I had all the accessories.
Damn.
I got all.
You were that kid, huh?
I got all the girls.
You were that kid with the fucking satchel that came out, and you're like, "What's up, everybody? I have the attachment for the attachment. It has a magnifying glass with a nightlight on."
I was that guy. I was that kid.
I remember I was at the church when I was a little kid. My parents would take me to church on Sundays, and there was this kid. He had a Pokemon satchel. Okay, he pops out his fucking Game Boy. He has like an attachment for the magnifying glass that he's playing. And I remember like 4 of us kids were just looking at him play this game, and we're just like, "Dude, he has a Game Boy." Like, none of us knew each other, by the way, but we're all just fascinated by this one kid having this Game Boy.
Right now, we ran out of time. We want to say thank you for watching us and this topic and eating and drinking this delicious food.
Delicious, yes. Thank you, Zamba Juice, for the amazing drinks. I haven't stopped drinking this. It's so good and creamy. Recommend you guys check them out. Huntington Beach. I think they have a few locations that they pop up on, so definitely keep a lookout. We'll put the name down below and the link, redirect you there, and also with Hank's Mexican food.
Yes, thank you to Hanks. Yes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Comment on what you want us to try next. If you have any suggestions, please write them and type them way below the description. We're gonna try this out. If you would like to fund us or donate or whatsoever, we will have a Venmo account.
Yes, that's what we're going to work towards, creating some type of Venmo Cash App. We get some funding, and then we could upgrade some stuff, maybe even hire somebody. And if you're looking to have some job experience and opportunity, come join us. We won't pay you. Just in food. But if the Venmo and stuff works out, then, we'll pay you. For now, we definitely would love the help. And if I have any life advice, is that when you stare at the sun, don't wear your sunglasses, because then you'll be able to see again.
I'm staring at the flash. That would be I'm staring at the light. That would be the sun.
No, you gotta take off the sunglasses. Got a bare naked eye in the sun. Hasta la vista.
Oh man, we forgot to talk about Terminator. Next time. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Take care, y'all.
Peace. No. Sensational.
I feel like a fat piece of shit.
Later, y'all.
Later.